Far too early to say, and secondly, we were 8 tenths behind in qualifying in the last race, so we haven't added 8 tenths of performance to the car in 4 days. So no, I think it will still be very tough to beat the Mercedes this weekend. You also have to assume that the others are going to be picking up pace, like McLaren picking up pace, and the second Red Bull being in the fight as well. So I think we'll just focus on doing the best job we can and extracting the most from the car.
In Australia, George told to the media that he would have travelled with you. Mm-hmm. Have you speak with him about their engine? What do you think their advantage is?
Difficult to say. I mean, I don't have all the information, so I don't really know too much. But of course, I asked him about the engine, and I assume maybe they could be more efficient. Maybe they are able to charge more, or maybe they have more crank power. And so we've just got to, rather than worry about what others have, we just have to work harder to try and extract more from the package we have. But I'm really proud of Ferrari and the guys back at the factory who have done such a great job to build the car and the engine that we have, which has been reliable, and we'll continue to develop.
It's positive to start the year with a trophy. I know when we were speaking in Australia, you were talking up Mercedes' advantage throughout the weekend, but do you think Ferrari have the potential to really take the fight to Mercedes as the season goes on, from what you saw in Australia and what's in the pipeline?
I really hope so. In qualifying, it's going to take a lot of work in order to change the advantage that they have. I mean, 8 tenths in Melbourne was absolutely huge. I don't expect it to be much closer here. Closer for sure. There are things that we are optimizing that we haven't optimized in Melbourne, etc. So it will get better, but they still have a significant advantage. In the race, we are closer, so I hope that starting from this weekend, we can put them under a bit more pressure.
Thank you.
Yeah, and talking about here and maybe the specifics of this track with some slow speed corners, might they help? And also, because it's a sprint weekend, understanding your package, and it feels like you guys have a good understanding of your package. Does that enable you to hit the ground running here, and how key is that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely we have a bit of we've done a massive amount of work in the background, let's say, to be ready for a weekend like this, because it was already a massive amount of work for a normal weekend to be ready with those cars that are so complex that on a sprint weekend it's probably double the work, because you've got very few laps before needing to be optimum for qualifying. So it's going to be a huge challenge for everybody, and I think in the past or last year, one free practice session wasn't such a problem. I mean, you could be suboptimal because of setup by 1 or 2 tenths. Here, being suboptimal with the engine could mean 5, 6, 7 tenths, which is so it's going to be very important to do a good job during FP1 and to be ready in sprint quali in order to have the best result.
And do you already have a good idea also with the experience from last week how you're gonna manage the battery on that long straight here?
Yeah, we have an idea, but then there are obviously always scenarios in which you are not completely ready, which is the fight with the others, what your opponent is going to do, when he's going to use the boost button, where, and these are scenarios that moves constantly, because as a competitor we will want to surprise our competitors, and so you are not necessarily ready for these kind of scenarios.
And will we see the Macarena rear wing this weekend?
For now, I don't know.
This is the Chinese year of the horse. Do you think that it could be also the year of the horse, of the Cavallino in Formula 1?
Well, I really hope so. I mean, it's obviously, for me, I've been many years with the team, and I'm waiting for the year of the horse since the first year I joined the team. So I hope that this year is our one, but surely we are against very tough competition. I think Mercedes is quite a bit ahead at the moment, but little by little, I think we can catch them.
How much do you have to caution against anybody either within the team or around it, saying, okay, 1-2 in quali, 1-2 in the race, it's our championship now? Especially as, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Ferrari have got the Macarena wing on this weekend, which is going to mean they're going to dump a load of drag on that long straight.
There we go.
Might make things interesting.
Yeah. No, it's 2 years ago in Las Vegas, we finished 1-2 and should have qualified 1-2. And if that was the first race of the season, we'd think we're going to go on and win the championship that year. And that obviously wasn't the case. Now, I do think we've got the quickest car at the moment, and I think the power unit's really good. But we've got to keep on improving because I know the developments that are coming from teams up and down the grid. There's, I hear McLaren are quite overweight and they've got some weight saving to come. Red Bull, obviously, they qualified P3, but Max wasn't in the fight. Charles gave me a proper fight in Melbourne, and he was ahead of me before the VSC. And if he pitted in the VSC, I don't think we'd have finished 1-2. Maybe I could have got past him for the win. It would have been a proper tussle. So I think we just really nailed qualifying, and that was just a bit of a shock to everyone.
Isack, good to see you. I know it was frustrating not to finish the race last time out in Australia, but how pleased were you with the pace you displayed across the weekend? Lauren was pretty happy, said you absolutely nailed it from that side of things.
Yeah, honestly, I was happy for first weekend. No big mistakes. Honestly, I had no regrets. I had good qualifying, good build up to the weekend. Had a very good first 50 meters of the race, and then that was it. So I did all my part, and yeah, we'll try again.
Has it all felt pretty natural for you so far at Red Bull, on and off the track? And what about your chances this weekend, sprint format, all of that going on alongside
I feel very good in the team. So yeah, they're giving me all the chance to succeed, and yeah, this weekend's gonna be tough for everyone. So much learning to be made, and only having one practice session before it starts. It's going to be hard.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Do you already know what the problem was on Sunday?
No, honestly, I don't even understand it. So it's just a deep PU issue. Yeah.
But is it something that you faced like
before? No.
Just before? No, at the start, and then suddenly it was like, what is this?
Yeah. Literally after turn one, I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
How do you rate this track in this whole energy management? Of course, it's different than Melbourne. It should be better. Eh?
It's apparently from our calculation, it's in the top 4 best track for energy.
Yeah. Okay. So, in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah. Okay. Should be fine.
Yeah, should be better.
Should be better. Yeah. Well, that's good, especially in qualifying.
Yeah.
You're close. You're close. Maybe not up there with the Mercedes, but you're close with the Ferraris. They've got the flip over rear wing this weekend, the Macarena wing, which should make them super low drag on the straight.
Yeah.
Might that move them ahead of you, do you think?
Yes. I think they're already ahead, to be honest.
Really?
I think they just messed up a bit qualifying, but because they've been ahead the whole weekend, and in Q3, no. So, yeah, it's good. Honestly, I don't anticipate us to be, again, I don't see myself being third on the grid, but we never.
A roller coaster of a weekend for you in Australia, but plenty to be proud of with that recovery. What did it mean to get the 1-2 at the end of that weekend, and just the feeling inside of the team at the moment with the car that you've got?
Yeah, it was the best way to start the season, to be fair. Of course, it was a bit of a up and down weekend, but was extremely well recovered after FP3. Of course, the team did an incredible job, and I think they saved the weekend. They definitely saved the weekend by putting the car back together. And despite not being able to set it up or anything, the car was still very quick, and and I was able to drive it without an issue, and it gave me a lot of confidence as well during the race, and yeah, it was the best way to start the season. Of course, we need to keep our head down because Ferrari in the race was much closer than where they were in qualifying. So yeah, just need to keep our head down and keep pushing, because obviously we have a really good car underneath us, and there's a really good atmosphere in the team, but we also know that the situation can change very quickly.
Thanks, Kimi.
Ciao. Looking back on Sunday in particular, what thing would you say you learnt from the race that you really want to get right this weekend?
Oh, the start.
The battery pack.
Yeah, the start. I mean, we obviously looked at it and we saw where the issue was. I think everyone kind of suffered the same issue. Obviously, people they suffer with a bigger magnitude. My case obviously was very stressing because exiting the last corner with no battery, didn't do any burnouts. At some point, I thought the car was broken because it was not responding to any inputs, and then the start was what it was. But still, luckily we were quick and we managed to come back. But definitely the start is the biggest point where we need to work and improve, because other teams such as Ferrari and Red Bull, they're getting off the line very well. To be fair, also some other teams with our engine, they got off the line very well. So we need to work on it and improve, because in Melbourne we had the pace advantage, but there might be races where we don't have that much pace advantage, and probably we're on the same level as ours, and the start can be crucial. So this weekend, obviously sprint weekend, obviously we got the sprint race to try to then be ready for the main race, but that's going to be the main thing to improve.
Checo, good to see you. A few days on from the team's F1 debut, you made it to the checkered flag. Just what did that mean to yourself and the rest of the team, entry only being confirmed just over a year ago?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's been a massive achievement for the whole team. Unfortunately we didn't finish the race with Valteri, but we managed to get a lot of information, a lot of pit stops, a lot of race routine for the team, for a team that has been working together probably for a very short period of time. But at the same time, we know that things have started, and it's not going to be easy to close out the gap, because you're fighting the best teams in the world, and to be able to basically close the gap is you have to develop the other teams. So I think we're facing a massive task on our hands, and it's great. That's why we are here for, and to me that's the main priority that I want to see development.
Yeah, you touched on it there. First box kind of ticked, but development being key. So what can you tell us about the developments in the pipeline? You're here to fight with the rest of the grid, of course.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about numbers, and we want to be closing down every single race. We want to be able to close the gap to the midfield, race by race, and I think we have to clean up all our operational side, race side, the strategy. Just keep growing as a team, and that's why we're here for.
And just a final one from me, another new experience for the team this weekend with the sprint format. So what's your thinking coming into this one? A very different track compared to Australia, of course, as well.
Yeah, that will be a nice challenge, to have the sprint event, and I think that's something that will be very enjoyable.
Good test for the team, this first sprint weekend that Cadillac will have, so that'll be interesting. Was there something you took away from Melbourne where you thought, okay, right, that's really interesting, I think we can develop on this in terms of the new rules as well as within the team?
I think obviously it was a massive achievement for a team that has been working together for the last 4 months to finish the race. It was a shame we didn't finish with both cars, but I think let's say the first tick is done, and now it's all about development, all about closing the gap. We have a lot of experience in the team. We have all the budget in place. We have all the resources. So it's down to us really to close that gap.
And in terms of the way that harvesting and deployment worked, is there anything you thought in the race, this is interesting, I didn't...
Yeah, obviously we are all learning, drivers and engineers working together. We obviously being a customer team, we are very limited with what we can do with Ferrari or what we can get from them. We are at the moment we're basically getting what they have, and we have to deal with it. But it's very hard for us because we are like 3 seconds away. So it's really difficult to be able to extract the maximum out of that, let's say, deployment, the strategy they have. But I think there's something that we also need to work closely together in that regard.
Valtteri, good to see you a few days on from Cadillac's F1 debut. I know it was a bit unfortunate not to make the end of the race, but so much work went into getting to that point. What's the kind of overriding emotion from it and everything that you've talked through over the last few days?
Yeah, it sounds weird that I didn't finish the race, but still everyone's feeling positive. But at least we finished the race with one car, which is good. And yeah, it's just a big milestone, really for the team. And here now coming to the first sprint, feeling good, of course. We want to do better than what we did in Melbourne, and just really can't wait to get back behind the wheel and see what we can do.
How much more potential do you think there is in the package as it is right now, before we even start to talk about development and new parts and so on?
I think there's a lot more potential. Like, I think we have a decent base car, but we are clearly lacking performance. We're lacking downforce. But yeah, there's a lot of things in the pipeline, and it's very early steps for us in Formula One. So for sure we'll make progress, no doubt.
And final one from me. Graham said before starting this adventure, the first goal was to earn the respect of your rivals. Do you think you've already gone quite a long way to achieving that with what you did in Australia, turning up, and what you put in over the course of that weekend?
I think so. I think there was many doubts about us as a team being ready, but we've been there at every single test, every single session last weekend. So step by step for sure we'll earn that respect, especially when we start to get faster.
Comparing yourself with the rivals that you have in this moment, where do you think you have more strength?
Well, it seemed like Aston is in quite a big trouble. Like, we had troubles as well, but at least we could finish the race with one car. So that's kind of our strength. Where everyone is so excited about this team, everyone wants to improve so bad. So I think the team spirit and having this feeling of everything is new, that's our strength. Everyone is working so hard.
That's cool. And sprint race this weekend, are you excited?
Sprint races I've always preferred to the normal Grand Prix. It's just one practice and straight into it. So,
Arvid, what a debut weekend. The stuff dreams are made of. Has it all sunk in yet? How proud are you of what you displayed last weekend?
I don't really know if it's all sunk in yet. I mean, it was a very special weekend. I enjoyed a lot. I mean, in the end, it's been something I've been working towards my whole life, getting to Formula One. So to have my debut was very special. To have my dad there as well was really cool. And I think the results of the weekend, I think the reality of being a Formula One driver and sort of making my debut, I don't know if that's fully sunk in yet. I think that's more the part I'd sort of mentioned. But yeah, I'm very happy with the race. I think scoring points in Q3 on my debut is very special, and I think the manner in which I did it as well, being P3 at one point on lap 1 was pretty cool, and definitely more than I could have ever expected.
Yeah, absolutely. Also wanted to ask you, the third youngest driver to score points, the youngest British driver to score points in F1 history. I know this is just the start of the journey for you, but what do these achievements mean at this stage? So much effort, so many sacrifices over the years to get to this point, to be an F1 driver, and to achieve that straight off the bat.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, obviously, I'm proud of it, and I'm also grateful to everyone from the team, everyone from Arvid PT for helping give me a strong package. But a lot thanks to my parents and Red Bull itself and Dr. Marco for the opportunity he's given me, because he's been a big part of why I'm standing here today. So I'm grateful to them, and then obviously on the British point as well, being the sort of youngest ever British driver to score points is really cool for me. And I mean, obviously I'm very proud to be from the UK. It's a big part of why I'm here. The grassroots sort of level in the UK is extremely high. I think that there's no mystery why there's 5 British drivers on the grid. The tracks, the level, the weather helps a lot, to teach drivers to develop and improve at such a fast rate. And it's helped me a lot to stand here today.
And final one for me, Arvid, another new challenge this weekend with the sprint format here in China. What's the mindset going into this one? Excited for another crack at it this weekend?
Yeah, very excited. I mean, the mindset is full reset. Melbourne's done now, it went well, but it's a completely different beast this weekend. It's going to be my first ever sprint weekend. The format looks exciting. It looks draining. So let's see. It's going to be intense, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and see how it goes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Arvid, some drivers have to wait a long time for first points. How useful is it to get that sort of affirmation that I can go there and do it so early?
For sure, it's good, and it's a confidence booster. But also on the other hand, I can't let any sort of complacency or or anything like that sort of creep in. So I'm proud of what I've done. I'm very happy with how the weekend went, but I'm really focused on China now, and getting the most out of this weekend. And it's going to be a completely different animal. So let's see how it goes. But full reset.
Yeah. Do you tick off a few things in your mind? How well you managed to start, as you say, you were running in third position, being able to see it out as well. Having the pace to keep Bortoletto at arm's length as well. A lot of those things will be confidence boosters for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a really good race. I do think there was things I could have managed better. On the energy side, a bit with the tools within the car, but that's to be expected. It's my first race in Formula One. There's a lot going on. I mean, it felt like I was doing almost 40 laps under pressure from a car behind, which was either Gabby or Ollie, quite close. So it was intense. Yeah, there was a lot going on. There was a lot of new things, for me to experience within the car. I think a lot of new things for everyone to sort of see with these new cars, new ways of racing. So yeah, there's a lot of things to understand, a lot of things to work through with the team, and I'm just focused on really trying to take the learnings from there to get the most out this weekend.
Liam, good to see you. A strong showing from the team last time out in Australia. Potentially a double points finish without that issue at the start. Any more that you picked up on that side over the last few days?
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, we reflected on, we went through everything in the race, and we know what happened at the start, and we know what happened during the race, and a lot that we're learning at the moment with these cars. So we'll obviously continue to apply that this weekend. But as you said, it was a positive from a speed point of view. In Melbourne, should have obviously ideally had 2 cars in the points, but we'll obviously come here this weekend and try and replicate what we did last week.
Yeah, you touched on it there. Hitting the ground running in that way with these new regulations must give you a good bit of confidence coming here and the races ahead.
Yeah, it's positive. It's a very different track here, so I think you'll see swings from teams week to week depending on the type of track. And for us this weekend, we're a little bit unsure as to how we'll go here, whether we'll be as strong as we were in Melbourne, but we'll find out tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, back to that start incident, Liam. Are you saying via the learnings that sort of thing can be avoided, or is it always likely to crop up? I mean, not nice for you, not nice for Franco Colapinto either.
He did a very good job to avoid that. I spoke to him after the race, and it was just an issue that we had, and something that we hadn't had too much before that, but now that we've had it, we understand why, and we'll obviously fix that going forward. So it's a shame, but it's something that we can avoid. And we've had good starts in pre-season testing when everything is working correctly, so we'll try and apply that this weekend.
Your sport is about rivalries. You seem to have an ongoing one with Checo Pérez. Do you think that'll ever get sorted out, or are you two always going to be in this kind of friction?
I don't know. I think our focus is to be racing. Where we qualified last week, and that's what we're going to try and do this weekend.
Hi, Racing Bull is is a junior team. It's to make young drivers getting better. You have a rookie next to you. Does that mean that you have to rely a lot on the engineers in this new regulation, and that they have to teach you more than if you had more experience?
I think maybe in some ways, but at the same time, obviously, anybody that's coming into Formula One now, especially on Red Bull side, is obviously very strong. Obviously, Arvid's had a great weekend in Melbourne as well and shown that strength. So it's positive from a team side of things for both of us to be trying to push the car forwards and develop as much as we can. So I think, we have a good team around us, and we're both in a good position.